Reb David Feinstein once asked his father, the Greiser Reb Moshe, who was always happy. Reb Moshe had difficult times. Every day was hard. He had to run a yeshiva and he had people all over him all day long and he had difficulties and all kinds of yisurim. And he said, Tata, how do you manage to always be besimcha? And his father answered, how can I not be besimcha if the Eibishter desires the avodah of Moshe Feinstein? The quintessential honor of Reb Moshe looked at himself, who am I? Simple Moshe Feinstein, and I was chosen to give nachas ruach to the Eibishter. How can I not be besimcha when the Eibishter chose me for that? Realizing how valuable we are to Hashem requires constant work, and always we have to think about it. It's the strongest weapon we have against the Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara is always enticing us and always making us think. Your actions don't really matter. You're just a small speck in the vast universe. You're insignificant. There's a Ger Tzedek, Rabbi Avram Goldstein, who speaks all over the world. He says over a story, he came from Puerto Rico and he wound up somehow in Williamsburg and he became a Satmar Chassid and raised a Chassidish family. One of his friends who had a child who was struggling with Yiddishkeit, he was a 14-year-old boy, a 14-year-old Yoeli. The friend turned to Rabbi Avram and he said, you've been on the other side. Maybe you could be mashpia, you could influence my son and speak to him. Rabbi Avram tried to speak to the boy and he saw that the boy was totally impossible to talk to. He was angry, antagonistic. He didn't know how to reach him. And he davened to Hashem for siyata d'shmaya and he had an idea. Rabbi Avram Goldstein is a musician and there's a store, a sales and repair shop, a huge one, that he would go there for all his musical instruments. He figured, let me try to bring this boy there, this Yoeli. The name of the man was John. John was a religious Catholic, and Avram would always talk to him about the Bible and religious things. He comes to the store, and he's holding Yoeli's hand, and John sees him and says, hi Abe, how are you? He says, yeah, let me introduce you to my Yoeli, my friend. He's a Levite, a Levi. John looks and says, a Levite? A real honest-to-goodness Levite? I can't believe it. He quickly calls into the intercom to all of the employees. He says, all employees come down to the lobby immediately. All 70 of his employees come from all the rooms all along the huge building, from the repairs that they're doing on guitars and clarinets, and they come running, they come down to the lobby. And he says, guys, a Levite, this boy is an honest-to-goodness Levite. I'd like you all to get a blessing from him. The boy, Yoeli, looks at Avram and he says, what will the Michigana? He says, don't worry, he knows you're a Levi. And he wants you to give a bracha. Put your hands on the heads of each of these chavra here and say, may God bless you. That's all you have to do. Okay, the first fellow comes, a 6-footer. He puts his head down. Yoeli puts his hands on his head and he says, may God bless you. He stands up with humility, walks away. Next one comes, puts his head down. May God bless you. All 70 stood in line and they got a bracha from Yoeli. Afterwards, John thanks Yoeli with such humility. Thank you so much. A Levite, what a treat. What a great day we've had today. On the way to the car, Rabbi Avram sees Yoeli's crying his head off, sobbing uncontrollably. Yoeli, what's the problem? He says, I've never ever felt I had any importance, that I'm a Levi. I never felt any uniqueness. This is the first time I felt that I'm worth anything. This turned out to be the impetus. This was what motivated him to become a Ben Torah, little by little. This feeling of value. Rav Moshe Feinstein understood. The Eibishter literally begs us, serve me, do it for me, I need you, do nachas ruach for me. If the Eibishter needs my avodah, how can I not be besimcha?